Hi everyone, Jesse here with etrailer. Today we'll be taking a look at and I'll show you how to install the Diode Dynamics SS3 Pro ditch lights on our 2014 Toyota 4Runner. These lights are going to be great for someone who's planning on off-roading with their 4Runner. It's a good thing to be able to see ahead of you when you're off-road to keep you safe out there, lets you react a little bit quicker. A nice thing about these is they have a combo light, meaning that they have a spotlight and a driving light built into them. And they have a mode if you're just looking to look cool out there on the road. You can flip the switch and you'll have some daytime running lights that will be coming out of your hood, and that's always a plus. As you can see, we have a very wide range of light there, and a nice thing is with these custom fit brackets that we installed them on, they're super easy to adjust, so you can really dial it in, get the light pointed where you need it. Also, if you have multiple sets of lights, you can get a nice wide range and really light up the trail. Not only do we have a side-to-side adjustment, but you also have up and down. So once again, you can really get your lighting dialed in. I'll get more in depth on how to make those adjustments once we get to the install. So we have it all wired up into this switch, which is included in the kit. It's really nice to get that factory look with that small switch. We were able to just tuck it into this knockout panel here. So for the modes, this top mode here, that's going to be our white light. When you're in the center, that's going to turn everything off, and this bottom one, that's going to be your yellow light for when you're driving on the road. Even when you're driving with the lights off, they're still going to look great and they're not going to obstruct your view at all. All you'll really see is the actual pod light and then our brackets and the wire. And as for the installation with these custom fit brackets, it's a super simple process. They give you more than enough wiring and it's all just plug and play. But that extra wiring would be nice, say if you wanted to mount it up on your roof rack or anywhere else in the car. The only real difficult part is running the wire for the switch inside the vehicle, but if you just follow along, I'll walk you through that process. If it's not something that you're looking to set up yourself, then feel free to check out our dealer locator. Or if you've installed these on your car and you just want to share your experience with us, please feel free to leave a review or a comment. Before we begin our installation, I'd recommend putting some painter's tape or something just to protect the corner here while we're moving the bracket around. We don't want to risk scratching that. And also, what I'll do is mark where our hood is lined up from the factory. You could also use painter's tape for this, but I just like having a mark around the curve so I know side to side and front to back. Then we can get these two bolts removed. When you remove these, you'll want to have your hand back here supporting the hood so it doesn't slip back and hit the glass. Another thing, I'd recommend having somebody to hold the front of the hood so it doesn't close on you. With both those bolts off, we can take our bracket, come around from the front or the back side. We'll just have to get all three of those holes, our bracket, then the hood bracket, and also the threaded hole in the hood lined up. Get both these bolts started. Now we'll try to get our lines marked up like the way we removed them and get this tightened down with our 12mm socket. Once we have the custom fit brackets installed on both sides, we can close the hood and take our universal bracket here, line it up with that slotted hole on the top, drop your carriage bolt down through the top, and we'll install a flat washer, then a split washer, and then the nut. And we'll just leave this hand tight for now for adjustments later. Now we're ready to install our pod lights. The plug will be on the bottom, and we'll take our locking washers, the flat side facing towards the outside. If you can see, just have to drop it into that slot there. And we'll do that on both of the sides. Get those dropped in. Then we'll line those two nuts up with the holes on the side here. Take our mounting screws that have a flat washer and then that conical tooth washer. Get those threaded into those nuts we just slid in. Now when we start our wiring, it makes it easy to separate into 3 sections. These pieces, of course, will tie into our battery. The red will go to positive, black negative. This is just a relay. So we'll keep that in the area of our battery. You'll have 2 of these plugs. These will plug into the back of our pods. So I'll do that in just a second. The other end of our wire that has the switch attached, I actually ran through a grommet into the inside of the vehicle, so we'll get that hooked up later. But for right now, I'll show you how I'm going to plug these in. So it's just a push pin fastener. That ours was actually broken, so I just kind of lift it up. We're going to slide it under this panel here. This is our cowl for our windshield wipers. Slide it under that panel. I'm going to try to get a hold of it on the other end. We'll get our driver's side pod plugged in. So what I'll do is, this cowl just has a push pin fastener that you can remove. And I'll run the wire around it and then tuck it down inside. Tuck that wire down inside, and then this panel just pops up. You just have to get your fingers around it and pop it up. Slide this under here. What we're trying to do is avoid any hinges or moving parts on the hood. So get that pulled up, and we'll just simply plug it into the back with the push pin facing down. Push it till it clicks. And then we can still make adjustments later. Just make sure you leave yourself some slack for opening and closing the hood. So the passenger side will plug in the same way. Just for the routing, I just followed this factory wiring harness with some zip ties just to keep our wiring out of the way. But once you get over to that cowl there, it's the same process as on the driver's side. So for your switch mounting, it's really where you can get creative. We're going to use one of these knockout plates, this one right here, and mount it. But to do that, we'll need to take this panel out. So we have 2 screws on the bottom here. If you just pull back on this plastic piece, there's a 10mm screw. Get that removed. Then there's another one hidden over here under this plastic plate. Let's get a flathead screwdriver, pop that down, and remove that one. So I was having issues with the bottom clips, so I actually reached in the steering wheel, was able to get some clips released. We'll pull down and we can actually just access it from up top here without removing the whole thing. So there's going to be one push tab. We should be able to push that knockout plate from the back and remove it. It was pretty time consuming. I drilled it out with a step bit and then kind of cleaned out the inside with a burr bit, but I was able to get our switch slid into place. Now we can wire it up. You'll see this top wire is blue. That's for the 2 on our switch. The center circle will be red and the bottom is yellow. So we'll get these plugged in, get this knockout plate popped back into place, and just get everything tidied up on the inside. Your battery will probably look a little different than our setup. Ours is kind of already set up for aftermarket stuff, but same concept really. This T ring terminal here, just loosen up the nut on your positive post for the red wire, slip it under there, and tighten that down. And then same concept with the black wire, except for that'll go on our negative post. For mounting our little relay, you'll see it has a little tab there. There's a nice spot right here where there's a 10mm bolt. That's where our fuse box mounts up. I'll take that out, slide our piece under it, and just tighten it down. Now we can run through all the modes with our switch, make sure everything's working properly, and then we can get to adjusting. For up and down, you'll just pivot it like that. It's as simple as that. Then take a 5/32 Allen wrench whenever you got it adjusted where you want it, and tighten it down on both sides, inside and outside. And then for your side to side, just turn it, get it adjusted where you want, and then tighten that nut down with a 13mm wrench. Once you get them all adjusted and tightened down, all that's left is to clean up some extra wires and take this tape off if you haven't already. Otherwise, that's going to do it for our look at and installation of the Diode Dynamics SS3 Pro ditch lights on our 2014 Toyota 4Runner.